Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me move this a little bit this way. Good morning, gamers. Why no work? Honestly, no clue. No clue. Not sure. Maybe there's a timer. Unsure. Oh, well, let's go. Let's go, Fief. Winning as per usual. Hi, good morning, gamers. Hi. Hi. Adding congrats on redeeming first. Sorry, I don't know why I'm stumbling my words there. Aline also redeeming kind of first. That's cheating. Don't do that. I will ban you. I swear to God. Executive, welcome in. Claudia, welcome in. Fief, welcome in. Wack, welcome in. Navita, welcome in. Daquan, welcome in. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. How are we feeling today? How's our Friday morning going? I hope we're vibing well. Have a positive outlook. Yeah, exactly. Guys, if you want to support me for free, make sure to retweet my going live tweet. It is a free way to support me. Also, hi, baby. Hi, baby. Guys, you remember how long my nails were? And I was like, no, this is too much. Hi, Mickey. Welcome in. Of course, Navina. Because you know how my nails were like getting too long? Like they were not getting too long. I got them done too long. I filed them down. Okay, they still look good. They're just shorter and like honest to God, so much better for me. So much better for me. Holy crap, it was too much. It was too much. Okay. Gotta straighten that out. How about you mind your business? How about you suck my ass? Pong, I'm in class. I can't listen. Oh, you want a close up? Where's my phone? My phone's low battery. How do I take a flash? I want you to see how pretty they are. Okay, and I'll send it to you. If I don't do this now, I'll forget. Done. Retweeted. Thank you, Mickey. I hope you're well. How's your morning going? Are you working today? Are you working today? Okay. Oh, don't threaten me with a good time. Whack, get help. Whack, genuine to God, get help. Thank you. Always. Define working. It's work hours. That's how I define working. I will in 2 weeks. Okay, I'm logged into work, but not much to do today. Oh, fair. Y'all, low key, like, I love this so much. Love the foundation. Right? She used like a spray paint thingy. Like, it was so cool. Like, she used a little nozzle and she did it. I was like, whoa, you're cool. You're cool. Damn. She told me this is Korean styled nails. I was like, okay. Because I went to her, I'm like, I don't know what to do. So you just pick it. And so she just went ham. I didn't give her a picture. She just did her thing. I was like, slay, queen. Slay. I don't know. She did make them way too long, so I'm glad I filed them down, to be honest. I'm really glad I did. I mean, there's some stuff I can do, but I don't want... Fair. Mickey, if it makes you feel any better, when I had a full-time job, I would stream during work hours, so... Hi, Prey. Welcome in, baby. How you doing today? How's your day going? I have 1 hour of work left. Oh, shit. Let's go. Whack, what time zone are you in? Hi, Prey. Welcome in. That founder's badge looks great on you. That founder's badge do be looking fine. That founder's badge be looking fine, if I do say so myself. I'm going to get the social rotator. I'm going to make it a little bigger. It's quite small. I don't know, but it's 4-6. Oh my God, shit. Okay, you're in like, oh my God, Whack. Why did I think you were American? The way that I thought you were American? What the fuck? Okay, Europe. Or whatever other. Excuse you. My apologies. I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 per. Love that for you. I have to focus on one game at a time or else I forget how to play. Don't ever disrespect me. I'm so sorry, my queen. I'm so sorry. My apologies. Praying for you. Oh God, guys, low key, I was watching Sweet Home, the K-drama. One, it's fucking phenomenal and amazing, and I love that fucking show. But number two, and most importantly, is the fact that genuinely it is reaffirming to me the fact that I have to get into survivalist mode, okay? A lot of people think that, people are crazy for having like bunkers and like, non-perishables. I'm like, it's been making sense more lately to me personally. Fief, is it because of Sign of Affection? You're obsessed with it. Honest to God, though, Ushi in Sign of Affection has been pissing me off, bro. Like, in a way that, like, I feel bad for him, but also, like, you're kind of an idiot. Crunchyroll, like, said, learn sign language just to be an asshole. I was like, oh my God, Crunchyroll slay. They actually, like, tweeted that. Like, learn sign language to be an ass or something like that. I thought it was so funny. I was like, oh my God. This is pure comedy. This is sketch comedy. Like, thank you. Thank you for this comedic relief. Oh, this song is so good. Is there any other anime you guys are enjoying? Solo Leveling? I'm really liking it so far. I feel like the pace is a lot slower than I anticipated. I expected it to be a lot more fast paced. I feel like the dungeon should have been 1 episode rather than 2 episodes. But then again, I like whatever pacing they want to go at is fine. But I just feel like it would have been better for me had like we gotten at least like maybe, you know how Freerun had 4 episodes? Okay. Like 4 episodes for Freerun when it first debuted. Like I think that would be nice. That smile was fucking nightmare fuel. That shit was like, I was like, how the fuck you're giving me out? Shania, hi baby. Hi baby, how are you? Just like that, right? It's so creepy. It's so creepy. Yeah, not my vibe. Not my vibe at all, for sure. I'm so vibey today, guys. I'm so cozy today. Although I am quite cold. This morning I went to the supermarket because I ran out of blueberries, frozen blueberries for my yogurt. So I was like, oh shit. So I went and they didn't have any frozen blueberries. They only had like mixed berries. Okay. And the mixed berries was cranberry, blueberry, and this like really weird fruit I've never heard of that is apparently like grown in Canada. That's like a mix between a raspberry and a blueberry. It feels like -5, right? 25? Like Celsius? That's so wait, what's the weather like now? It feels like -16. That's nice. That's nice. And throw them in the freezer? Whack, but I didn't have time for that. I wanted frozen blueberries now. Plus, like, cranberries are good for UTIs. Not that I have any, but, like, not that I have a UTI. It's just good for it anyways. Why not? We'll make time for it. No. I don't know what that means, Mickey. Mickey, I'm Canadian. I don't know what that means, dude. I don't know what that means. Bro, America just be talking in fucking Fahrenheit. Like, not, like the entire world isn't, like, Celsius or some shit. How you guys fucking talking? Ha! Motherfuckers just be talking Fahrenheit like we all understand, but we're all nodding our head, not knowing what the fuck we're agreeing to. Mossy, welcome in. Welcome in. Hi. Welcome in. I hope you're well. Welcome in. And Bethel, hi, baby. Welcome in, baby. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Guys, did you have coffee? I've been trying to avoid coffee. Just for the jitters and the irritability that it gives me. So I've just been going full raw dogging life. 1 cup per. Do you usually have more than 1? And today it's back down. Mickey, please. Please. It is -15 here. Please spare me the 4 Celsius. 4 Celsius in Canada, we literally wear t-shirts. Please spare me. Spare me. Motherfuckers like you are the problem! I have 1 in the morning. Rarely I have 1. Okay, what? Where? 1 before bed? What? That's cold for I know it's cold for Texas, but still it's freezing here. I can't be sympathetic. I can't. Coffee down to 1 a day for at least a few. Oh, let's go, Pray. Are you trying to cut it down fully? I'm doing okay. A little low on energy, but yeah, raw dog in life. Oh, Bethel, baby. Take today one step at a time. I mean, we're leading into the weekend. We'll go slow with it. It'll be okay. It'll get better, like, as you go slowly throughout the day. It makes me eepy, ADHD coded as fuck. I enjoy it too much to cut fair. Good morning, everyone. Ooh, hot cocoa. I add some instant coffee. Ooh, John, that's like a really nice, cute treat. Isn't that just called a mocha? I think that's just called a mocha. A mocha is like a hot chocolate with espresso, right? Just getting health stuff sorted. Very fair, Pray. Yeah, you take care of your blood pressure that way. It's really important too. Still finishing my first cup. Oh, Mossy. Well, I hope you were enjoying every sip. And welcome in. It's 22 degrees Celsius for me. Fief, fuck you. It was below 0 degrees the other day, and I'm from the Northeast Texas. Freaked out. Yeah, no, I get being freaked out about it. I get freaked out. Shania, you use creamer? I can't use creamer. It's just not my thing. I just think it's kind of useless. I just use milk when I used to drink it. Fuck you too. Aloe, no worries. Thank you for the lurk, baby. I appreciate you. Mossy, of course. No worries. Ooh, it's really cold in my room for some reason. It's just really cold. Or chocolate. Oh shit. Damn. Okay. That's nice. It's -17. It's like we're all getting fucked. Caramel. I hate caramel. Like in coffee. No, sorry. Opposite. I like caramel in coffee. I hate caramel outside. But I love dulce de leche. Dulce de leche is different though. That's just like condensed milk that's just been caramelized versus normal caramel. Tummy full of gummies. I'm feeling yummy. Tummy full of gummies. I'm edible. Feeling yummy. The tummy full of gummies. I'm edible. Feeling yummy. I love this song. With lyrics, of course. I forgot what it was called. What is this song? Is it just called Righteous? Is it this one? I'm not sure. Oh, there's no lyrics? I know there's lyrics, so where the fuck are they? I can't find them. I think it's called a cafe mocha in the States. Love that. Mocha would be with chocolate. Oh, instead of like a hot cocoa. Okay, got it. Got it. The polar bears are what? Mocha be with chocolate. Too far. Scared for planes. Scared of Fief, you're scared of planes? Really? I'm scared of people on planes. Hi, Justin. Again, guys, I've literally said this before. I'm not sure if I said it. I'm pretty sure I shared this information with you guys. Okay. When I was 8, I think I was 8. My fucking parents sent me over to my mom was in Egypt and my dad was in Libya. So my mom sent me over to Libya in the plane by myself. And this fairly large man next to me, as I was crying for mommy in the plane because I was alone, takes my fucking dessert. He said, "Are you going to finish that?" And he takes my dessert. Sir, I am mid-breakdown and I am 8 years old. Why are you taking my chocolate cake? Cunt. I was so angry. But hi, Justin. Welcome in. By yourself? Yeah, I was by myself. Yeah, but it was, to be fair, it was like another time. I was just like, I think it was 2004. Yeah, it's a different time, you know? From a baby. Yeah, I know. He took my chocolate cake. I still bring this up. I was talking about it to my mom. I said, like, Mom, the only reason I'm mad that you sent me on the plane alone is because that man took my fucking cake. I've held a grudge on this man for almost 20 years now. Truly, I'm like seething at the seams, truly. But I'm sure it was wild. Fair. I don't remember anything except that moment, truly. Don't be talked. Exactly. It is a core memory. It's like ingrained in my brain. I remember it so well. And the other time where I fed my dog at the time, I had a dog. His name was Elvis. He's a German Shepherd. We fed him tuna. That was another a core memory because I was like, oh my God, he likes it. I was a wee baby in 2004. I mean, I was 8. I was 8. I was a tiny baby too. Just like not like an infant, you know? An infant mentally though. I was 7. You're only a year younger than me, babe? Oh my God. I didn't know that. I kicked my dad in the shins and... Sorry? No. Is that true? That's fucking iconic.
More months to come, hee hee hee.
Betta, thank you so much for the 14 months, baby. I appreciate you and love you very, very much. Thank you. When I was like 3 to 6, Justin, really? That's crazy. By yourself, yeah? What time period was that? Early in the 2000s also? In 04, I was in middle school. I was in primary. Yeah, I was still in grade 4. My first time on a plane, I was coloring and I lost my red color pencil in the lap of a sleeping, angry looking guy. Oh, how funny would it have been to just like crotch grab and take it? Oh, Justin, damn, okay. Transless, hi, welcome in. Whoa, wow, what are we wowing about? Welcome in. Did Lulu ult your nose? Sorry? I don't even know what that means. Who the fuck is Lulu? Who the fuck is Lulu and what does it mean to alt my nose? Explain yourself a little bit, yeah? No, I need to figure out what he's trying to say. Explain. Explain. Try me. 04 was a good year. The Boston Red Sox finally broke the 86. You curse of the baseball. Of the Bambino and won the major league. I have no idea what that means. Jam into the song Permo. Y'all just saw me go into full bitch mode. When we landed, I shyly pointed and asked for it back. He turned about as red. Aw, poor guy. Poor baby. My brain only started developing in 2004. Were you still in the womb? Little moments here and there. Ooh. Not the motherfucker with the furry fucking avatar talking shit to me right now. That's fucking comical. I could give a fuck. Fuck you. I'm hot. Suck my ass. You're a bitch. How about that? Mm-hmm. Anyways, I remember shit from my childhood except the treasure chest ice cream. What is that? Explain that. Thank you, pets. I'm an ancient millennial. You're not an ancient millennial. Please stop. It's a baseball thing. Mickey, I've literally never played baseball. No, I've played it as like fun part of PE class once, but that was about it. That's about it. Hi, Johnny. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Mm-mm-mm. Does anybody know what that fucking meant? I'm still pissed off. What does it mean to alt my nose? What does that mean? Right? I think my nose is cute, actually. Look at it, it's kind of cute. It's like a little bubble nose, bitch. I've got a little cute little Sagma. How you are, baby? Welcome in. Ricky Priest, I do. It was like a little ice cream that came in a blue plastic treasure. That's sick. I would have lost it. That would be so sick. I would have loved that shit. Oh my god. Bed love. I'm gonna go. Brandon's gonna laugh when I tell him this. Wait, let me tell him. He's gonna laugh. Someone. Okay. What does that even mean? It's giving Gen Alpha. It's giving 8-year-old. I woke up and I've had such a nice day. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad. Did you go on a walk, UR, and take pretty pictures again of the sky? If you guys don't know, UR goes on these like long ass like treks of walks, and he takes pictures of the most pretty scenery I've ever seen in my life. It's so pretty. Just like so pretty. Which is like, I'm like, whoa, like you can just see that from like your walk. Like, what the fuck? Epitome. For those who know history, I was born 10 days after the Challenger exploded. What does that mean? Like, actually, what does that mean? Is a challenge that blimp? Oh, that's what I do, but not so much pretty pics, just pics of the city. Pretty. I would ask to share, but I don't want to. I wouldn't want you to dox yourself, of course. But a student came up to me and thanked me for. Oh, you are. I used to love my singing coach. She was sick. She was really cool. I liked her a lot. She was nice. Her voice was very powerful. No, not the blimp. What is the Challenger? It sounds like a boat or like a tank. Challenger? Crash. Oh, it's a space shuttle. 1986. Oh, goddamn. Oh, goddamn. Space. Space. Pew. I was going to say like a really fast car. Hi, Focus. Welcome in. Happy Friday. See, I was born in the Great Depression. I'm actually 84. 94. I don't know. I don't know what the age would be. I'm actually 94. I look good for a 94-year-old, right? Hi, Andrew. Hi, baby. I'm 94, Fief. What do you mean? Yeah. And when I went in and had a lesson of music history, and I referenced memes, and the students went like, whoa, this guy knows memes. That's funny. Please. Whoa, this guy knows memes. How did I sleep? I slept like a log. Yeah, I slept like a baby. Although it was quite hot in my room at night. I don't know why it gets hot at night and cold in the morning. But I slept pretty good. Hey, the tampon. Fuck off, whack. One second. Anyways, guys, I made it available for you guys to be able to see my progress towards Partner Plus. As you can see, I am very far. I could not be farther if I tried, truly. Which I think is quite funny. I have a question. Shoot. What's up? Shoot it at me. The answer is yes. Wow. Shoot, baby. Me waiting patiently. Tell the class. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Just shh. Not yet. I'm psychiatric. All the time. Oh, Fief, I love you so much. Genuinely, you're my constant. You and Whack are genuinely my constants, and it makes me feel very loved. Where do we see your progress? Ooh, Aloe, if you go on my page, like you're just watching my stream, you'll see it right next to my about section. Like, let me show you what it would look like right here. Here, this is my stream. See that right there? That partner plus right there, right next to my about. Right there. You see that? I am very far. Could not be farther. Truly, if I tried. Halfway there. So the thing is with Partner Plus, you guys, number one, it would help me a shit ton towards like financial freedom with like becoming while being a full-time creator would help me so much to have 70-30 split. Number two, with Partner Plus, it doesn't count gifted subs. It only counts people who are subbing. Tier 1 subs count as 1 point. Tier 2 subs count at 2 points. Tier 3 subs count as 6 points. 6 points. And the thing is, we have to keep the 350 points up for 3 months to qualify for a 70-30 split with Twitch, which is something that would, genuine to God, like change a lot for me, I think. It would be pretty cool. So yeah, that's my goal for the year, is to hopefully write this to reach that. Yeah, my hope is to reach that. Okay, wait, let me do it let me do it in paint for you. I'll explain it, okay? I'll explain it in paint for you. How about that? Yeah, I'll explain it in paint for you, baby. Here. Okay? Okay, you need 350 points. Okay? For 3 months. Got it? 350 points. Tier 1, 1 point. Okay? I'm doing this with my mouse. Excuse the handwriting. Okay? Tier 2, 2 points. Tier 3, 6 points. Got it? And so essentially having 6 points is best. Bye, you are. Enjoy dinner, baby. Okay. Gifted does not count. But essentially, Partner Plus would lead to a 70-30 split with Twitch for revenue. Got it? Does that say cunt? No, it says count. Oh my god. Oh my god, please. How dare. Nor. Gifted not counting is so rare. I fucking agree, Fief. Gifting not counting is such a scam. We only get 1 point? Yeah, exactly. Tier 1 only counts as 1 point. Tier 2 counts as 2 points. And Tier 3 counts as 6. Which is some bullshit because Tier 2 is half price of Tier 3. So why does it only count as 2 points? It should at least count for 3, in my opinion. But, I don't know what to do. Mickey! Mickey, thank you so much for subbing for 3 months at Tier 1. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, Ricky. I hope you enjoy your emotes, your sub and your ad reviewing. Thank you so much for helping me out. Do biddies help boost up the points? No, unfortunately not. Only subs. Isn't that fucking crazy? But to help boost people into doing it, I created a panel in my on my Twitch page that literally features all my Tier 3 subs. So your name would just be stuck there. Hell yeah. Your name would just be there. Look. Bedla honestly agreed. See, like, right there? Yeah, you'd be right there. My little T3 babies. Where'd it go? Over here. AKA Brandon, Triper, Ellie, and Sheila. Yeah. Tervy, welcome in. Levi, Sugma. And Sheila! Hi! Not me sitting like a crab right now. Yinny! Oh my god, so many friends. What is happening? Hi, baby. Hi, gamers. Hi, gamers. How are we? How are you? How are all of us? Look, that's my name. It is your name. It is your name. OMG, what is Sugma? Sugma dick. Bitch. I'm well, recording. Oh, you're recording? Let's fucking go, bad bitch. Triper. Thank you for the error. Beautiful.
Tier 3 stands baby.
Hype train. Triper!
Hype train started.
Thank you for the tier 3 sub! For the 6th month. Holy shit. The 6th month. That's a lot. That's truly a lot. That's a lot. Thank you so much, Striper. I appreciate you and your support immensely. Immensely. Makima, I know she's so hot. But in like a psycho way. Which makes it kind of hotter in a weird way. But good morning. Good morning, gamers. I have to wait 1 minute. A whole half year. I know. Isn't that fucking wild? Hi, Giles. Welcome in. Welcome in. New badge. Yeah, you get a new badge. Duh. It's 6 months. You get little stars. Maybe to a pulp? Bro, you do not. For Demon Slayer? No. I do not like watching trailers. Watching trailers spoils everything for me. Why would I do that? I hate trailers. I hate trailers with a passion. I have to wait 16 seconds. Oh my god, you're pissing me off. But anyways, you can see my progress for Partner Plus, which is pretty cool. Anyways. How do you reach the different tiers of subscription? You go on, like, you know how it says my account right there? It goes manage your sub. Here. Right here. Where it says manage your sub right here. Like, or underneath the viewer thing. Right here. I actually really don't want to see that. Like, how do I hide this, please? Right here. Yeah. Because I also hate trailers. So valid. So valid. So fucking valid. Truly. Of course. But yeah, that is the dream one day. Hopefully. That's a goal I have for this year if I continue to stream consistently. We're streaming. I'm not going to miss a day, you guys. When I make a commitment to a day, I will not skip that motherfucking day. Got it? Hell or high water, I will come to the stream. What did I miss in the stream? I don't honestly know. We were just talking about random shit. I was ranting about that dude that took my cake when I was a kid, when I traveled alone for the first time. Yeah, I was venting about that. That man has a really, like a very dark place in my heart. Oh yeah, we had Farrah smile creepily, like in Solo Leveling. Also, guys, thank you for the hype train. Sheila, thank you. So do you. So do you. Fucking hate trailers. The trailer break. Fuck off. Sheila, I love you. I love you. Oh. My phone's getting texted. Oh. Okay. And then this rude guy. Oh yeah, this rude guy came and told me, did Lulu alt your nose? What does that mean? For anybody who plays League, what the fuck does that mean? I think I'll be free today. Okay, let's go. Well, let's talk today. Cool. I'll be free right after stream. They speak it in tongues. No, because, like, what does that mean? Noses are hats. I feel like they're just telling me that my nose is big or something. Like, I don't understand the concept of... Gab... Giles, baby, stop. Ah, the alerts don't work for Twitch alerts with these fucking things, which is so annoying. Ah, Giles, thank you so much. Wait, let me go replay it. This is so annoying when it doesn't do that. Here, I'll replay it. I'll make it this.
She pisses when she farts. Sometimes she shorts. Booty rocking cowgirl coming to my barn. I made me a fat bitch.
Country girls make do. I put it in a poo-poo hole.
Thank
So
you,
you're
Giles.
telling me there's a chance?
Thank you, Giles.
Oh, hey! Didn't see you there.
Triper.
I'm just here because I smelled a fat ass. Oh, is that from you? Whoa! That's pretty good, sweet cheeks.
Anyway, slide me your digits. Giles, thank you so much for the 222 biddies. Triper, thank you for the 500 biddies. I appreciate you very much. Happy payday. Happy payday, baby. Worth it 100%. Yeah, it's worth something for sure. It's worth something. Jump scared, to be honest. That's just my face, dog. Feeve! Oh my god, I fucking hate this fucking alert. Guys, Twitch, you need to fix your fucking alerts. Thank you for the 10 biddies, Feef. I
Faroh
appreciate
just shared
you.
1 bits. Born too late to explore the Earth. Born too early to explore space.
Thanks, bro.
Born just in time to spam memes.
What emote do you get at 5,000 biddies? I actually don't know. Let me go check, actually. Let me go check. Oh, you get the kith. You get the... And then at 10k bits, you get shrimp. At 25, you get shy. 50k, you get dab. Chad, you get 75. And rage, you get 100. There's only one person who's ever achieved 100k bit status, and that is Joe. Because Joe is unmatched, truly. But you get kith. Anyways, thank you guys so much for always supporting me, both emotionally and like in general on stream. Like, I really appreciate you guys. I don't know, I'm feeling emo in this moment. And a part of me wants to play Class of '09 again, just so I can see if I can get a different ending. Brandon, thank you for the cuddles. What is this? One of her moves involves glitter. She's like Pixie with magic powers. Do I look like I got glitter on my nose? Sugma. That's just rude. That's just rude. Fuck you. Fuck you. Sugma. Sugma toes. Sugma toes. Don't forget, guys, to go vote for Sheila. Just saying. Just don't forget to vote for Sheila for the gaming awards. That's all I'm going to say. Don't forget. Legit, fight me. I will brawl. Honestly, Levi, on God, if we actually brawled IRL, I would fuck you up. We get it, Stugma. I'm screwing up with my laptop right now. Yeah, break it. Break it. Let's see if you do it. Yeah, I'm the real winner no matter what. Also, guys, I've been debating on whether I want to go to TwitchCon or VidCon. I don't know what I want to do. If I want to go to VidCon or TwitchCon. Obviously, for people who are like, why don't you go to both? They're on different days. I can't afford it. With what money? But like, I don't know what to do because I feel like at VidCon I would learn so much about YouTube and creators. But TwitchCon I've been twice already, but I also just like want to see and hang out with my friends. But like, it's hard for me because I've already been to TwitchCon twice. You know what I'm saying? It's just like not the same. You know? I don't know. TwitchCon, you think, Mickey? I don't know. Lots of guildies are going. Truly, yeah, that's true. I'm only going to TwitchCon to hang out. Honest to God. But like, I also need to treat it as work. Like, at the end of the day, it's still work, right? Like, at least in my tax report, it's work. It's work. It's a work conference. Oh. Y'all, this muscle of mine right here, this one is so hench. Look at how hench it is. Ow. A bitch is like sore always. Holy crap. Should we play games now? I want to play God of War. I want to play God of War, my guys. I want to play God of War. Was so much better. Oh, 100%. San Diego was a million times better than Vegas, but the games, the party was, I mean, I didn't go to the party in San Diego, even though I bought a ticket because I was so tired, but it was still very fun in Vegas, the party, but everything else in Vegas was ass. The convention, ass. The experience, ass. But seeing my friends, always a plus. It was just hard to see my friends because they were always so fucking far away. Anyways, thank you guys so much for the heart chain. I appreciate you. What a vibe difference for me. Okay, let's open the game, gamers. I wait for TwitchCon to be on the East Coast. I don't think they'll ever do it. It's already been confirmed that they're going to have TwitchCon in San Diego for a while. For a few years. They said that, yeah. Yeah, Giles, it sucks. It genuinely sucks. Seriously thinking about TwitchCon San Diego? I think you should go. If you've never gone to a TwitchCon, I say go. For the next 4 years, probably to avoid to like get like a bulk deal in pricing. Yeah. They said we will make it cheaper if you promise to have it here for 4 years. Thoughts? Honest to God, though, San Diego one was a lot better. Giles, honestly, the San Diego one was very fun. Like, very, very fun. Break containers to find, but I know. Motion reduction options can be found. Okay.
I wish you'd come with us, Tyr. I know you mean well, I'm only just realizing all the little routines I've had to adopt taking care of Dropnir. I'll miss melting rings down for crafting gold, but I suppose we have enough to see us through to Ragnarok. Too soon?
A little bit, yeah.
You ready to go?
No, bitch! Do I look? You're pissing me off, Freya. Gimple all. Ooh, R.I.P. R.I.P. Fief, R.I.P. baby. Okay. Depresso, espresso. Sarah has the most. Jesus.
See you out there.
Turvy rip. Sheila, you're number 5. Oh my god. Okay.
Ah, time to go see
Should we
the
do
lady.
side quests or
I'll
should
take
we
it
do
from
a
here.
main quest?
Oh no! This whole thing were my idea. I'll speak to the lady. I never get to speak to the lady.
There are reasons for that.
Brock will go.
What?
Sniper?
I have to.
You got the
heard
Kith
him.
emo.
Quit your fretting. I ain't gonna mess nothing up.
Congrats.
What the?
Mwah. You got the Kith.
No, you
That's one of my
picky
favorites.
shrimps. Think that'll keep us out? Well, think the fuck again.
Well, think the fuck again. All right, bro. It's funny because I can see how many people have each emote. I've got 57 people who have the 1K,
Oh,
16
just
who have the
simply
5K,
trying to
8 with the
hog
10,
the glory.
and
Same
just
old
1
shit.
onward for 25,
The gig.
50, 75, and
What's wrong with a
100.
bloody
Isn't that
gig?
fucking crazy?
Most likely someone in Nidavellir been making a fuckery of the works. Probably on account of all that incursioning you got up to. But don't worry,
Classic Joe,
little
literally.
dangling head. Old Brock came prepared. I got ways in and out from the old days. Gates said never even think to look for.
All right, Brock.
On account of being stupid.
Wee!
Brock, where are we?
Yeah,
This
really,
here's
where
your
are we?
stop. Abandoned service tunnel, direct to the forge camp. I'll meet you up there. Go on.
Brock,
And he's gone. You sure he was the right pick for this, brother?
I trust him. He speaks plain.
And yet
He
so
speaks plain.
powerfully.
I'll throw away my savings. No. You take care of your savings, dipshit. Oh, okay, that's what you meant, thank God. My God's concerned. What's the purpose?
Unusual surface here. Elvish.
Okay. Oh. Her. I'm just literally just ruining everything in this area. Oh. Not like I needed it, but yeah, why not? Wait, Faroh. Oh, I need a sigil. Never mind. Sorry.
We may need to work together on this one. There. We keep cooperating, maybe someday it'll be Asgard in flames.
That is not my goal.
Doesn't mean it's not your destiny.
All right,
What are you
buddy.
insinuating, Highness?
Not a thing.
Poor bugger. Why would he hide in here?
He feared something in these tunnels more than he feared starving.
Hardly seems rational.
Fear seldom is.
True. Giles, look at you. You guys are doing your best. Is that gonna blow up?
So, a tunnel for liquor and explosives. Little on the nose
her.
for dwarven culture, isn't it?
Ridiculing a culture
lower the
you
brightness
helped
a bit
undermine.
of the light?
Classic Aesir.
It hurts my eyes.
Oh, all right. Might have earned that one.
Okay, alright, here we go. Why can't we just have a nice moment? Like, do I have to fight somebody? Like, why can't it be God of Peace? Have we thought of that at all? God of chilling. God of taking a break. God of self-care. Okay? God of spa and facials. What are our thoughts on that at all? Oh, is there somebody there? God of Animal Crossing New Horizons. So true. Why can't we just like try and evict some like villagers? Like, what's the issue here? Oh, more? Oh my God! Imagine Kratos just decorating his island. That would be so fucking funny.
See why
I'm
it's an
sorry.
abandoned
That would be
service
fucking
tunnel.
comedy gold. Boy, I need vegetables so that I can make this recipe. God of rest for the soul. Literally. Why must we just keep fighting? Boy, we have to capture this tarantula. Boy, I have to complete my museum collection. Boy, I have to cut more hardwood so that I can build up the museum. God of naps. God of just chilling out, bro. What is this for? I just feel the need to hit it. What the fuck? Sorry. That felt cool. I feel smart for that. Tarantula catching is more stressful than the burbs in the game. Absolutely not. Tarantula catching is actually quite easy. In comparison to fucking this shit. Is that like gas?
Ah, a fortuitous oil spill.
Because they fucked me up? Really? I didn't think they were that bad. Anything here?
Coming at you!
You're on fire, Kratos. It will pass.
Down!
Die, ho.
Poison! Right leg!
I have the thing, the enchantment that lets me heal that up pretty well. Get fucked. Oh yeah, I'm using the oil spills for my favor. I don't know, I didn't find the tarantulas difficult at all in the game, to be honest. I found fishing quite difficult because sometimes the fish would just disappear for what? Like, what did I do?
Sindri, is that you? Yes. I need to talk to Kratos.
Feel free, buddy.
Please listen. You have to let me take Rock's place. He can't talk to the lady.
It's because he's dead, right?
No. Do not ask again.
But... Oh dear.
It's not his fault Atreus ran off, you know. Or are you just being Brock's champion?
There it is again. You're insinuating and you know it.
Can't the smartest man alive put it together? The giants conceal a mysterious figure.
No, it's because Brock isn't alive. He told Atreus.
Rational candidate.
I forgot how to do it.
Fought wars against gods and won.
It's because Brock isn't alive. He's only 2/3 of what he is. Because Sindri brought him back to life. He told Atreus that. Like, Sindri already... Whoopsie. We already told Sindri all of that, you know? So what was the reason for that? There was nothing. Lame as fuck. Anything there? No? No? Nothing? Lame. Can I break these? No. Nice. Sorry for being slow about certain sections, guys. I just really want to collect everything, like, really badly. Like, that's, like, my aspiration in this game is to be cracked.
These gates seem to be connected. See if you can break that far fixture.
Ralph.
虎杖裕次郎僕が殺します
Hey.
face. Hope you're doing well.
Okay, fuck you then. You're the nerd face, asshole. How about that? Shitty.
The sigil arrows should work with ice as well.
But also thank you for the 8 months, Habibi. Oh, I can't. Oh, okay. I just don't know how to reach that. Thanks, buddy. Oh.
Not quite. Just find the right angle.
No, I did it. Did I not? Oh, wait. What the fuck? Get away, Kratos.
It's open.
Nice. Okay. Oh, of course. Why? Albert Einstein was a genius, but his brother Frank was a... Alright, buddy. Oh shit. Oh, let's fucking go. I'm fucking cracked. Let's fucking go! Frank Ocean. Frank Sinatra. That was pretty
Well,
cool.
that was a bloody heartier sort of grim. These won't be easy tunnels for the dwarves to take back.
That was pretty cute.
We'll need to get one of
What,
those
like it's
gates
hard?
up.
Of course. Freya kissed me about it. Oh my god, stop.
These drops
Stop. Get
before,
help.
haven't we, brother?
What do you say? I'm not really sure what I'm trying to do right now. Ah. Of course.
That worked. Shall we?
No, I want to do this one first, buddy. Thanks for nothing, sir. So how do I turn this around? Is there any fucking water coming from here even? Fucking no, dude. Do I have to go here first?
This opinion of yours, Was that the reason you proposed this alliance? You expect me to lead your armies at Ragnarok? That is
No, I feel
Tyr's
like I still have
job,
to go this way.
not mine.
It's plain to see Tyr's no war god anymore.
Have you tried solving the
Nor am
puzzle,
I.
Slugma?
I have left that life behind.
Not killing gods, you haven't. Or else what are we doing in this realm? Forging this weapon? Your choice. You know where it might lead.
I am only protecting
I
my...
know. I know. And we both know the places protecting your child can take you.
Have you tried turning? Like, how do I get it to there? I don't know how to do it. There are puzzles? Oh yeah, there are puzzles. It feels like I have to get up there, but I feel like I can only get up there from this. This doesn't even have a water supply. Maybe if I just do it here instead. I'm confused. I don't know. Have you tried asking it nicely? No, because it can sogma. Truly. Before the other... Okay, thank God. Equius, thank you for letting me know. That gives me a little bit of peace of mind. Anything? You are so welcomed. Fuck you, Rick. Always happy to help him. I'm sure you are. Oh! Not me. Bros. Stop, stop. It's dope. See, this is what I benefit from breaking everything. Told you. Breaking everything is just, you know, a pastime, really.
Sigil arrows won't work on this.
Bitch, I sort of...
Sigil arrows won't work on this.
Freya, wallahi al-azim, if you don't shut the fuck up. I can... You know what? I'll just do it this way. Thanks, Freya. Awesome. Yes! Are tough, Loki. Agreed, Equius. Agreed. They really are tough. Like, genuinely, they're tough. Let's fucking go. I keep trying to find everything because I'm trying to 100% this game like really fucking badly. Okay, buddy, chill out. Chill out.
Careful!
Am I fighting?
Those Grimm are possessed by nightmares. They'll be even more dangerous until we stun them.
Was that dangerous to you, or a big shrimp and not a horn? Stop! He's not the shrimp. I hear something unpleasant. Yep, here we are.
Incoming! Above you!
Hi, Perry. Come here, shithead. Fuck. Am I not done? Oh. Come here, shithead. Thank you. Got a few minutes. Love you. I hope stream is okay. Sorry. I hope your appointment is good. And thank you.
Atreus' mother was a giant, isn't that right?
She was one of the Jotnar.
Yes.
She was part of the
I didn't mean she was tall as a house. I know not all giants are giants.
Not that there's anything wrong with the disparity in size. Or number of limbs, say.
Nothing in the world.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Oh. That was funny. No, he's saying disparity of limbs because he's just ahead. I love you. See how much better I can type when my nails are shorter? Wow. Yes. Why can't I break? Yes.
There. Now we can open the other gate.
Nice.
Why is it you ask?
I was just thinking of how Odin antagonized the giants for generations. Nearly wiped them out of existence twice. Now you may have a role to play in stopping him once and for all. Don't you think it's possible that's
Those are the barrels eternal.
Do not presume to know what she wanted.
I'm not saying anything you haven't thought. Her secrets haunt every step of your path, wasn't it? Maybe if you talked about your doubts, they wouldn't explode when you talk to your son.
Are we in a relationship? Why are you schooling me like this? Fuck off, Freya.
She would never have asked that of me.
Why would she need to ask? She saw your fate. 3 of Odin's kin dead because of the path
the whole
she
thing.
put
How
you
fun.
on. You don't think she
Fuck
knew
Monster.
exactly
We're
what it meant
boycotting
to
Monster,
send you to
Perry.
Jotunheim?
All my homies
This is
hate
mere
Monster.
conjecture and
I'll talk to my wife like that. Fuck Freya,
Highness.
Loki. She's so annoying.
We're all making an effort to cooperate here, after all.
Oh, they're you know.
It's not for me.
Supporting genocide.
All right, let's get that wheel turning. Just out of place.
What did Monster do? They're supporting genocide.
Let me know if I can help with
Got it.
Ah, teamwork.
Of course. Again, dude, please, Yanni. Nobody wants this.
There's 2 of them, and they're angry. Oh, I felt that one, brother.
Shit, fuck. Stop burping on me, you sickos.
Behind you! Watch out!
Alright, buddy. Time to die. Those are my uncles. Stop. Don't disrespect your uncles like that, please. I don't know. Like, literally, have some Panera or something. Like, chill the fuck out.
You're on fire, Kratos.
Thanks, buddy.
It will pass.
I know it'll pass because I have the fucking attunement.
Behind you, look out!
Her self-defense. The only way I get work done. Caffeine. I do cocaine instead. Whack. Get help. Hi, dear baby.
he's ready
Welcome
for some
in.
fresh air after that.
Boris, welcome
Everyone
in.
thought so.
It is close.
Welcome,
I can
welcome.
feel it.
I hope you're well. Hoi, hoi. Ooh. Hello, how are you? I'm doing good, Gucci Mane. I am doing of the Gucci Mane, if you will. I'm doing all right. I'm doing something. Just not drugs. Don't do drugs. Sorts the line of life. So true. I'm doing life. Whack, let me help you. I can't help you. I need help. Whack, I am of the need of help, not in the place to give it. Oh, I thought she was a vase. Life is doing me so accurate and true.
Look, I wasn't trying to provoke you or cast doubt on
Doing
you.
life.
It just seems to me your thoughts
Doing
haven't caught up to your
life.
instincts yet. And I know something about that.
Life gives me fuck me eyes all the time. Like, it's just asking me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm game. And then it says, I'm game too. And so then we do it together. You know? Can I break it? Raw dogging life, to be honest. Exactly. I really am. Welcome back, Fee Baby.
When we get out
tried.
of here, I'll give you some space. Let you think carefully about whether you're ready for what it means to make this weapon.
Hey, hey.
And to use it.
No, I raw dog life. How dare. I just thought of something funny. You know how people say ski? I was like, imagine it's like a raven. Sky.
Meanwhile, I'll see what else I can learn while we're here.
You can unfollow me for that.
Maybe
I
I'll
understand.
send a few Einherjar back to Valhalla for good measure.
Well, you have fun now.
Hey, you made it. About time. I got everything all
Just let me be. I know, I'm
Now
just
we
built
just
like an
gotta
idiot.
push on up to the fort.
Just let me be. Oh, that's her. Oh, she just dipped. Oh.
Long as you know that ain't the way to the forge.
The forge. Get help. We'll do.
You
How come
sure
you
did
not send
go
me-
to pains coming here, busting old Tier loose. What a prize he turned out to be, huh?
Huh?
Lucid enough to
Oh, we already got all the chests,
my
right?
kitchen, though.
Get help. Ratatata, ratatata. Ratatata.
Better take out that nest or it'll be Eyeball City out here.
That was easy. Tanjiro!
Well, so
No,
much for
no.
following me. Fine. Let's see what you find.
Oh, of course it's a monster.
Hey, try sticking your hand in that thing.
Nope. You bitch. Why are you praying for my downfall? Wait, let me go get some chips. I want a snack. Wait. I want a snack. I got rice cakes. Sweet chili. Why does it matter if he's between two walls? He's between two walls with me anyways. Ah ha ha ha. Between a rock and a rock. Cozy. Two walls of thrust in. Blech. What's this? Nothing? Oh, lame. Are we thrusting? Apparently.
These mutts? No wonder they shut the door.
Oh. Treasure! Literally. Wax is built different. Sorry, Poogie. Sorry, doggo. Brock is so useless, my god. I'm literally just a girl. Or a cretin. I feel like cretin suits you better than girl. Whack is just cretin. Cretin coded for real.
Hang on. Almost got it. There.
These are very good.
Well, come on in, stranger.
I never do get used to that trick.
Locals up ahead. Act civilized and hopefully nobody springs an alarm.
Huh.
No, quit your nattering, you snake-sucking mommy milksops with your protective gear. Ain't you never seen a legend in the flesh before?
He's not aware of the fact that he's half dead.
Well, that ain't no good. You see what's wrong here, don't you? Those creepy flying eyeballs made a nest up on the gate. We gotta figure a way up there and clear them all.
Solis just chilled one goods. I forgot to say that today I woke up this morning cause I had a nightmare.
Oh. Why? What nightmare did you have?
Opens the gate. Not that we can reach it.
Are you okay? Boris? Brock sounds like Louis Armstrong. I don't know what Louis Armstrong even sounds like, bro.
Well, you could start by burning off this strut.
Why is he giving me orders? It's annoying. In the nightmare? Oh no, Habibi. Thanks, Triper. Dream of sheep. No, I'm sorry that you had a nightmare, Horace. I feel bad. I see the trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Her. Teehee. the true Armstrong experience. What does that mean? I don't get it. How am I supposed to do this? I don't get it. I basically sing, but like growl while singing. I can't do that. Is it like, and I think I can't. Yeah, no, I can't. I don't know how to do all that. Brock. Tub, thanks, Brock. Useless fucker. So what am I supposed to do, Yanni? If I can't reach it from there, I don't understand what they want me to do. I actually don't get it. Thanks, Whack. You're so helpful to me sometimes. What the fuck? I don't get it! Have a little I can't. Goodness gracious. I actually don't understand what I'm supposed to do if I can't. Like, I think I need Freya for this. I think I need Freya and sigil arrows. Yeah, I can't do that without Freya. Let's be real here. So true. Yeah, I need Freya for that.
Until we deal with that nest up there. Come on, let's try to get close. Well, this sure is exciting to watch, but you know that's out of range, right?
Okay, okay. Okay. So I'm supposed to aim for that from there. Okay.
Okay, now make it go up again.
Make what go up again, bro? Oh, so now he's on the fucking elevator. Oh, now he's on the this cunt. This cunt.
Now we're talking. Hang on, coming around.
Brother, did you notice the dwarves of the camp were twice as alarmed to see Brock than they were to see you?
Yep.
They did seem surprised.
All right, now I can turn this crank and cap that geyser there. You just give me the signal when you're ready.
Now.
On it.
What the fuck?
Well, that got the gate open, but you kind of need to be up here to use it. You dig?
I'm aware, bro.
Turn it.
Copy that.
Turn it again.
Aye, aye. He has said.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta have a full stop at once, see?
What? We already know he's not real. Is this because I'm surprised that Atreus didn't tell
Once more.
Kratos about this.
Look around. Find an angle. Ain't this what you do?
Wait, I don't.
Again.
Hi, Lid baby. How are you?
We need a new vantage point, brother.
Hey, I got the crank covered. You do the other stuff.
I'm confused about what I'm trying to do currently. You said we need a vantage point. Oh, Lid.
Can we get up any higher
I
from
love
here?
you. You're gonna make me cry, dude. Don't do that. What? Oh, okay. There we go.
Ah, promising.
I hope you're doing well, Lid baby. The thing is, I really don't know what I'm trying to do here. Perhaps?
There you go. Right on the mark.
There we go. Okay, that'll be enough pressure then. Okay.
Come on through and get
Got
those
it.
cables.
Got it. But Lid, I hope you're well, baby. I'm eating Rice Crisps, and they're really good. Like, they're really, really tasty. For what? For what? You know what I'm saying? Okay, now I put it away. Of course there's a fucking hidden thing here. Of course there is. Ooh, shmoney. Dude, we are fucking rich!
Well, I think they seen us.
What's they? Who's they?
Finally.
Rip.
Now we can ride on up to the fort.
That was a lot of fucking work.
The
And for
lady's
what?
waiting. Hey, got another riddle for you.
No, please.
What gets bigger the more you take away from it?
Well, let's see.
Expectations?
Something abstract, I expect. Appetite? No, that doesn't work.
Stump the stump.
Oh, isn't that
Right?
clever?
It's so difficult sometimes. Like, honestly, the game is so hard sometimes.
Ooh, that's brisk. Think I'll grab some for the lady?
Grab some what? The wind?
No, you idiot. The sound of the wind.
What?
Watch and learn. See? Dwarven magic's all about the intangibles. The relationship between the stuff what you can touch and what you can't. It's about understanding.
Understanding what?
The nature of a thing's more important than the form of a thing.
What? Mm-hmm. He did, in fact, bag a bag of wind.
Smell trouble.
And it's not a fart. Isn't that fucking weird? Oh my god, give me a break, bro. Look at my electric. I should say electricity.
Waiting on you, Clatterfart. Whenever you want to die, I'm right here.
The boy over there was frozen for a bit. Get fucked. Rip. I'm getting better at this.
So this lady then.
It's for your Friday time. I'm so jealous of you right now, motherfucker.
More magical creature in this whole realm. Why, I've been waiting for my chance to meet her since I was knee-high to a Noken. But Sindri'd never have it. Said I was too uncouth. But today's
'Cause you're dead!
Finally the day. Woo! I got goosebumps on my bunions.
Dude, honestly, lid fucking same. I mean, I space it out per week, right?
Are you nervous?
Like, I watch it every week at different times.
No, fuck you.
Obviously for my reactions, but honest to God, it is a very, like, difficult show to watch at times because of how emotional it gets me. It just has a way of getting you emotional without, like, anything sad happening, right? Like, it's enough that they're reminiscing that the way they are. Like, that's enough. And that's so, like, hard to, like, stomach. Hi, Parker.
Go on, Pasty. Turn the crank. Let's do this.
Not him calling me Pasty as if he's not a fucking Smurf.
What is it this time? Out of the way. Let me look.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, Knuckle. Do I gotta fix everything in this dang city my own self? I'm gonna need a couple of things. Follow me.
Okay.
If this place ain't in some disrepair. It's
The
disrespectful.
overarching themes of regret and reminiscing and
I
changing.
need that axe of ours to go
Yeah.
kiss that material out yonder. Despite
Oh,
the
Lid, baby, I'm sorry.
You'll figure it
I'm
out.
sorry, princess. I'm sorry. That must be really difficult. I'm sorry.
This lady, what does she do?
Well, we'll both see soon enough,
he
won't
want?
we?
Oh.
I know this, though. If we're real lucky, she'll give us her blessing.
It is a
Doesn't
banger
give
show.
up
It is a
every
banger show
beat,
for sure.
But the one she does, there's something to behold.
The axe?
Well, that particular process was a whole nother cluster hump. Maybe sometime I'll spin you that tale.
Here you go, bro. Rock.
He's the only one.
Oh,
who
chopping.
ever
Yeah,
got
this is
my
Stardew.
eyebrow sense of humor.
It's actually Stardew.
Damn fine woman she was. Apart from her taste in men.
This is Krobus. Hi, Saint. Welcome in.
Now I need a chunk of that bronze material over by all that busted up wood. Back in those days, I'd get so caught up in trying
Choppy,
to
choppy.
put a bit that I'd work till I plumb dropped. Time goes
Is there a way for us
by
to find
and
his
less
third
the
part of
room.
his soul just so he can be complete?
Your own pace.
Like, poor
Save
guy,
your
dude.
extra effort for when it's personal. Like for when you finally get to show the lady who you are.
We are.
Wow, Goaty, you sure did give up on that riddle in a hurry.
I give up nothing. Gets bigger the more you take away, is it?
That's right.
Sorted. It's desire.
Nope.
What do you mean?
I mean, that
no?
would make sense.
Desire only grows when you take away the thing you desire. All right, it's not perfect, but let's hear your answer.
Oh, you won't get it out of me that easy. All right, let's get back to
What gets bigger as you take away from it?
Crank to turn and it's on to the forge.
I see no
like their
forge.
anger?
See the
No.
form of a forge, but we're going to the nature.
A hole?
I was
Oh my
almost
god, Whack, you're
following
right!
there.
From forever ago? Oh my god!
We're good.
You're right!
Crank it.
Hi, Fritz, welcome in. Ooh, I love your cyberpunk banner. We love cyberpunk in this bitch. Great show. Great game. I haven't finished the game, not even close. I've barely done like 10 hours. Very small. Very, very small. I mean, he's a dwarf.
Where's the forge?
Here she comes.
She a fucking mermaid, dog? Hello. She kind of would. Oh, I would. Hi, Queen. You're kind of hot. Danny DeVito. Wood. Oh, wood so hard. Oh, wood very, very hard. Yep. Oopsie. Wood.
She needs the final ingredient. The blood of a god. Give her your hand.
Hi, Mommy. I could give you my tampon. Is he not gonna give her her his bag of wind? Omega triangle. Oh my god, she's proposing to me. Yes. A million times yes. Yes. I will be yours forever, Queen. Hi, Gabby. How are you? A fucking no, it's a ring. She's proposing.
I almost forgot. Ma'am, it would be an honor if you might bless it for us.
Yeah, bless it for me, Mommy.
Are you, hello?
She can't see him.
Hello?
Because he's not complete.
The fuck was that? She acts like I weren't even here.
Because you're not.
Mermaids don't speak to our corporeal bodies. They speak to a part of our soul.
Yeah.
Part specifically, you
might be missing. I haven't seen you since Jujutsu finished. Oh, well, I'm still reacting to a bunch of new stuff. Yeah, his soul isn't complete.
Damn it, Sindri, you lion's cat scrubber! I knew it. I died. I fucking died! The fuck you want?
It needs a blessing.
Yeah, well, the one to give us the blessing just fucked off into the tomb.
He's asking him to do it. He's respecting his soul.
It needs the blessing of a great blacksmith.
Kratos.
No, I can't bless shit.
Aww.
I don't have all my soul bits. It The blessing wouldn't mean
Yeah, Gabriel,
squat.
I've reacted to it. It's on YouTube actually.
That matters. Not its form.
All right.
Kratos. He's so kind.
May this weapon strike true. May it be wielded with wisdom. May it be put down when its
Yeah,
job is
it's
done.
very good. Be put down when the job is done. You just spat on it. Alright, well. Yeah, it's very new. There's only 2 episodes out so far.
Return home.
Whack, don't. I was gonna make the same joke.
I can't let you take our new gal home. Look, we got volunteers.
Get electrocuted, ho. Oh my god, I'm making shish kebab.
That's the stuff. Ain't your first time
Just
with
a
a
wook.
spear, I reckon.
It is the first weapon a Spartan learned.
Well, hell, ain't this just like old times there?
Put it more forebodingly myself. Brother, that group found a perch on high.
Where?
Throw it all you like. Drop there, old mate.
What does it mean to embed up to 5 spears? What does that mean, embed up to 5 spears? And Dragon Ball, I say watch Solo Leveling for sure, Gabby. Really worth it. Nice. That's a nice ass spear.
Spear's looking pretty battle worthy to me. Let's see if she can help us get out of here too. Up there, see that weak spot? Jam one in right there.
I can do it now! Oh my god, fuck yeah.
That's it. Now do the thing. There you go.
That's fucking
Yep.
sick!
Guess we're doing
Melanie,
this
hi
one
baby, welcome
boy
in.
style.
Good morning. How'd you sleep?
I appreciate what you said back there.
Always.
It's good to have friends when you find out your brother's a rack-scabbing liar.
No
Rock,
doubt he
chill
only
out.
wished to protect you.
Weren't his call to make. The guy dies, he's got the right to know about it.
Fair.
Take heart, Brock. We all die sometime. Many of us more than once.
No, never mind all that. We gotta finish putting the spirit through her paces. Come on. Might have to get creative up ahead.
That makes me kind of like that. Kind of breaks my heart. I can't lie. Poor Brock, man.
Man on the left. Oh, lick my face. There's eyeball nests all over. Get your throwing arm in here.
Yep, I like the spear.
The nest. Get the dang nest.
Where? But where's the nest, Brock? Oh, there it is.
Take out that nest or it'll be eyeball city out here.
Oh, there's more?
Stop pumpering around and smash that thing before more things
I
come
did,
out.
bro. Another one. There's fucking 3, dude. That's a little much, don't you think? Oh. Thick.
A spear in anything like that.
Beef, R.I.P.
Sure
baby.
way to alter your circumstances on the right quick.
There's so much I can do finally. So much I can finally do. How exciting is this? So much I can finally do. Does that mean I'm finally halfway through the game or something?
Guesses, belt boy.
How far into the game am I right now? I don't know.
Gets bigger the more you take away. Is it time? Because the more removed from events you become,
It's a
the
hole.
larger their scope in your memory. No, that's bollocks now that I say it. Never mind.
Today's all right.
Oh, Brock, I feel so bad for him. But can you do Freya? Probably, if I tried. Then again, Kratos is probably going to die, but I refuse to admit that. Or, like, genuinely accept that.
Eyeballs are taking over them grounds. We better beat them out. Get cattywacker, you hoe!
Is there a nest? Here, really?
Show me what you got!
Show me what you got. Is there a nest? No?
Well, that was creepy.
Ooh, what's this for?
Hey, good eye. That would get you right up there. Spear
Oh!
must be talking to yourself.
I can do that?
Stuff out faster than I can teach.
No, that's sick.
Not seeing them. It's all about the proper angle. I'm telling you, you're too far to the side.
Do I have to do it from down there?
Whoa, you sure you ain't done this before?
No, it's built
See?
different.
Dirty enough to climb on, swing on, whatever's you need.
I'm too scared to do this fight. Because the last time I did one of these, I got fucking owned. Should I just save first?
It's one of Nito's children. Put it in the trap.
Great! You got him!
Oh, hello there.
Sorry, didn't mean to scare you or anything.
You did not.
Right, you can bring that back to Ratatoskru whenever you're ready.
Oh. So it's not always a fight? What the fuck? Okay. Oh, okay. The more you know, I guess.
Ah,
Win.
that's locked.
Okay. Is that a win? And thank you for the lurk, baby. Might want to check out our spear skills. I mean, I'm doing it. Why is it blocked? How is that blocked? I mean, he's right. How do I unblock? Oh, of course, there's gas. Of course there's gas over here. Sorry, guys, that sometimes I'm struggling to reach chat. My apologies.
Bit late for that.
Like, invest your XP to acquire more skills with the spear. Oh, got you. Got you, Fritz. I'll do that soon. I just accidentally well, I mean, I just used it for the... I just used it for a runic attack, right?
Alright.
Agreed.
Well, for a period of time.
But, like, the skill menu, I haven't done it here yet. I haven't done it here, but I did it with the runic thing.
Oh, very well.
I'll do it soon.
These ugly bugs. Maybe those
Maybe he'll give me good XP.
Nope.
What's up, buddy? fucking go.
I always knew you were crazy.
Let's fucking go.
Hey, Buckbear! Come on!
Oh, purr. That was easy as fuck.
Behind you! Look out!
Fucking go, dude. Oh my god, that's fucking sick.
Who you think you are, huh? You
I only
don't
got
even
shit on him.
know what's gonna happen.
I ain't got shit on Frito, seriously. Fuck.
Brother, that gun's got a patch on high.
Get fuck. I'm actually getting so much better at fighting. I'm actually really proud of myself.
Bring it.
Bitch ass. That's not the time to pick it up, Kratos. I was trying to move.
I got no time for you.
Get fucked. Nice.
That's probably enough heart pumping for me today. You pick up the loot. I'll set up shop over yonder.
Yay, I'm proud of that. Let's fucking go. That was pretty good. Did I hear bird? I need the XP, dude. I can't keep doing this. But a light runic attack. Let's just go here first. Nice. Is there any more loot over here? Fucking sick, dude.
Thank you, Brock. It is a good spear.
Damn straight.
Hell yeah, it is. Another amulet of Yggdrasil. Are we good? I don't think I can upgrade anything right now. Oh, I can upgrade the mall. Purr. This is the strength will go down, but I don't want the strength to go down. This will increase my luck and vitality quite a bit, but my strength will go down, which I don't appreciate. But I think the vitality and luck should be important, to be honest. And I don't have enough for this yet. I have a resurrection stone still. Okay, cool.
You'll be getting down from up here. Best I find my own way back.
No worries, gamer.
Too auspicious a day to end it working and borking.
Oh, is that the way down?
Fuck did he do that, huh? How did he make sure that was stabilized, huh?
Sundry's in one piece by the time Brock's done with him. The ice beneath those two is thin enough under the best of circumstances.
Oh, the music sounds like Freerin. Wow. I love this music.
Where is everyone?
Let me guess. Odin's coming out.
Now a good time. I just want to talk.
Fucking called it!
Dad. Speaking of which, imagine my surprise when Atreus came knocking at my door.
Oh my god.
He's doing well, by the way, and will continue to do so just as long as I return to Asgard sometime soon. Besides, our friend here has a whole lot to live for.
Arguable.
Run along now, but behave yourself. New spear.
Welcome back, Triper. I hope for your
Never
was
much cared
good.
for Brock. Can't deny the dwarf's talent.
You came to speak. Speak.
You don't really want war, do you, Kratos?
Oh my god.
All that blood on your hands.
Can you stop manipulating
on
me?
your son's hands. I want peace as much as you do.
Oh, I'm so excited, Triper.
Perhaps we can find it together.
He's lying.
Yeah, of course he is.
That boy of ours.
Of ours?
He's everything I expected. So
Your
clever,
ours?
kind. You sure he's yours?
Oh, fuck off.
Kid, you really ought to be very proud. He is the key to peace in our age, to break free from all this fate and prophecy.
My son is not your key.
True.
Oh, do they not have metaphor in your homeland? Or rather, did they? I'm sorry, that's not fair. I know you're not the god you once were. And now is your chance to prove it.
Oh, shut
Turn
up,
my
Odin.
son, or you may meet the god I once was.
As you should.
And what kind of god is that, Kratos?
A god killer.
What do you even know of godhood?
Oh, shut the
In
fuck
your
up, Baldy.
lifetimes, has anyone ever worshipped you? Ever prayed to you? Can you even imagine that kind of love? No!
Oh, shut up, you
don't
rapist.
care about mortals. You don't care about anything beyond yourself. Beyond the monster who kills without cause. You fear what you can never even hope to understand.
He talks a lot for a short-ass motherfucker.
That your boy is in no rush to come back to you?
Well, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Don't listen to him, brother. He's just trying to get in your head.
His son is trying to save him at all costs, bro. Like, you don't know shit. Literally, you know jack shit.
The nerve of him showing up here. At least you rattled him as much as he rattled you.
Oh, can I not break these vases? Lame. Okay, there's a side quest here. What does that sound? Oh, it's not a side quest, I guess. It's to teleport.
Good timing. Let's see what Brock made you.
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Hi, Freya. You're actually useful.
Very nice.
Thanks, Queen.
Watch out!
Fucking nice. Freya only knew that Odin was like right there. Holy shit, she'd lose her top.
They drop near spear.
Well, any given number of drop-near spears.
I have to go get the charger. One sec.
Come on, I found a gate. We just need to take the train down.
I do worry, though, if I'm being frank. We've crafted a weapon to kill a god. One could say you're on the verge of returning to form.
Does it scare you? Aiding another violent god.
I'm scared for you, brother.
I need the max
That
win.
spear could start a war.
I
The
need the
war.
max win.
If that no longer concerns you, then maybe Freya's right.
that.
Maybe the giant...
Hi, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Sorry, I'm just charging my my controller. Welcome in, Nia Doda. Welcome in. I hope you're well. Welcome. Okay. Okay, let me sit. Okay. Brandon, thank you for the hydrate. Okay. Ooh, I have XP now. Fuck yeah. Okay, what do I want to add? I know the bottom ones are sick. Remedy of the Bifrost. Bifrost from Kratos' health bar. I don't care much about that one. Increases resistance to blind and daze by 50%. Ooh, that sounds like really strong, no? Increases damage of all Kratos' death from above attacks. I'm not really sure which one those are. An enchantment from the ground to your own home that can be slotted into the amulet of Idrisil. 446, okay. Oh, it increases my melee damage if I'm below 50% health. Okay. I think I kind of want to do this one. Per.
Had you in mind all along.
Now let's go to skills. Let's increase those bad boys. But wait, I need to... No, wait. I do want to get the runic attack. Per. Increasing the strength of detonations. Okay, per. A quick success with the sustaining it. I hate making choices. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to try and get every single one. So it's not going to be an issue for me so much, to be honest, babe. Ooh, 4,000. Fuck me. My aim is to get her full Valkyrie mode. Jeez. Okay. Oh, really, babe? Seriously? Damn, okay. I think I'm gonna try that boss fight. I think I just want to try it. See where it takes me. You just choose how to augment them if you get them gold. Yeah. What do you mean by augment them? In what way specifically? Wait, how do I go back to that dude? Right. Let's try. I'm probably gonna fail, but I'll try. At least Freya's with me. Hi, buddy. That's not what I meant, Freya.
They're coming, brah. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Okay, I'm gonna die. She's not even like batting an eye in death. Like, it's not doing any fucking damage. Electrocuted bitch. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it die. Yeah, I don't think I have the ability to do this one right now, buddy. They're at level 5. I'm at 4. I'm at fucking 4! It's okay. It's okay. I know my limits. I know my limits. And it's okay. I will come back and I will do all of these. Have you tried being level 5? I'll beat your ass. If you look at the skills, depending on how much I've used them, they'll go gold. So like these ones have gone gold. But I really haven't used that one this much. How do you know if something's gone gold? I don't know what that means!
Anita Max win.
Daniel, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Marhaba. Marhaba, Dami, Habibi. How you doing, boo? How you doing? Miss you. Can I go? I can hear a bird, I think. Did you say XY when you hover them? What? I'm not seeing anything. Oh, I say used 7 out of 15. Okay, got you. Hi Daniel, welcome in. Welcome in. How are you? Welcome in. I hope you're well. Callie! Hoi, Callie. Hoi, Callie. I hope you're well, babes. Per. Hoi. Where are you going, Freya? We've already killed the bird here. Is there anything here? Could have sworn there was a gas thing here before, right? Oh, we already fought the thingy here. Oh, this is the same fucking tunnel. I could have gone from here then. God damn it, Faroh. What the fuck? Oh! What? What? How do I do that? Oh, do I have to do them small ones and then detonate? I'm gonna assume that that's what that is. Wait, let me try. I was right. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I was right. My ears were gonna implode. No! Why? What's going on? Did you use your headphones too much? That's what usually happens with me. If I use my headphones too much. I'm not really seeing anymore. Can anybody see any runes? Oh. Okay. Any more? These ones are very, very small. Huh? Little bit, I think my girlfriend, yes, we know, gave me some ibuprofen Tylenol for it and was able to get, oh, that's good. Well, I'm glad. You should go to a doctor though, get it checked, because the one time that I did it, I ended up with like a really, really, really bad infection. Last one took me forever. Yeah, well, I'm struggling over here. Is it on the other side? Or? I'm not seeing anything. Send me dodo code. Boobs. Welcome back, Thief. Fritz, if you know where it is, let me know. I can't really see anywhere. Thief, can you do your watch time really quickly? I'm trying to show everybody how high your watch time is, but nobody can do it except you. Yeah, there we go. See that, Kelly? Fritz, can you tell me where it is? It's in a rock. Go up the broad. Is it like there? Like over here? Hi, Tashawn. Do it. Go ahead, show me. Wow. Crushed. Rock crevice? Go onto the wood bridge? Okay. Fair and chat, my morning is going great, my love. Thank you for asking. I'm in the clouds for real, truly. Rock crevice? Rock crevice? Rock crevice? I had no job. Faroh was there to entertain me. I am here to entertain. Stream is going. I'm struggling to find a fucking rune right now. They make them so tiny as a form of torture. Taint. Yep. Entertained. I entertain the taint. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Look between the rocks of the chest. Okay. Huh? Is that a sick joke? Is that like a sick joke? Why the fuck would they put it there? What a bunch of bitches. What a bunch of bitches. That's such bullshit. Guys, they make these puzzles so hard. Thank you, Fritz. Was about to start another GoFundMe. Oh my god, Tashawn, I hate you so much, but I love you a lot. Guys, if you guys don't know, Tashawn last stream literally whole ass made me a GoFundMe page because I was like, this game sucks! And they're like, help Faroh make a better game. And I think that was art. I'm so happy I clipped that. That is what I call art. Okay? Man, I love this community. Y'all are fucking weird. Can I go there? Woo! Wee! Roller coaster ride. And it ended up working with no money at all, so mission failed successfully. So true.
Spear. You're prepared to use it?
To protect Atreus.
What does that even mean?
I am no one's champion but his, nor no one's god.
Stop!
That may be my form. It is not my nature. Do you understand?
Fritz, that is ass. I hate that shit, man.
I guess a difference of opinion is hardly the most I'm setting aside for this alliance. As long as the plan is to kill Heimdall, the rest matters little.
There's also the bit of news that Odin has some inkling of what we're up to.
I thought I heard ravens. Damn it. What did he say?
Lies, threats, and more lies. What did you expect?
You think he lies that Atreus is in
Got all that motion in the back.
No,
I want to do that so
that,
bad. Also, that one is so beautifully animated.
The rest matters little.
But I can't do it, unfortunately, because, well, we get fucked.
Beef Keef just shared 1 bits. Cheer 1, my sprinkler goes like this and comes back like t t t t t t t t t t t t t t t t t t t.
Thank you. Thanks.
I saw a gateway near
Fritz,
here,
you better be here when I
overlooking
stumble
We can
upon
get
that
you
one,
with your
okay?
spear, I think.
I need your help. I will suffer alone.
Another Berserker gravestone. You know what to do, brother.
But like I'm weak though.
After feel the callous. For the king!
Not for the king, wallahi la. Fuck the king and fuck you and your mom. Like fuck all of you actually. Well, fuck all our sides, actually.
Behind you! Switching arrows!
Bismillah. Look at them. Have you thought about frostbite, good sir? Not me wasting that. Damn it, Farah! I almost said my last name there, holy crap. I think he's doable. You're a worm, bitch. Fuck! Okay, I'm not gonna restart here. I'm going to do it again. I need to name my son after his grandfather. Ha 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 ha. You've used that one so much. Oh my god, Fief.
Fief Keef just shared 1 bits. Some beatbox?
So true, Tracer.
Sure thing. Titched text. Titched text. Titched text. Titched text.
Yeah.
Titched text.
Yeah.
Titched text.
Yeah.
Titched text.
Yeah.
Titched text.
Yeah. Yup. Yup. You did that. Thank you. Thank you for that experience. Truly beautiful. I think I can do this one actually. Fuck the king and fuck you and fuck your mom and fuck your dad and fuck your ancestry. Fuck your life and everybody at it.
You should run. Fall before me.
Alright, well, that's me. Okay, well, fuck him up. Well, I just got fucked in the ass, actually. Let's try that again. Thank you for the biddies, by the way. But most of all, thank you for the beatbox. Oh, Bailey. Get help. If anybody doesn't know what Bailey means, it means like hopefully that'll be me. Like, that should be me. Getting fucked up. That should be me. That should be me. You fucking turd. Have you thought about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
Worm, fall before me.
Frostbite.
Fall before me.
I don't want to fall before you, actually. Fucking bitch.
Scared?
Well, of course I'm scared. I'm not a fucking lunatic. You're not a god. You're green. Smurf fucking lookalike. Don't want to, actually.
Changing arrows.
That shouldn't be fair.
Triple false god! Fall before me!
Dialpha.
That's bullshit.
Triple false god!
How? How? I fucking died! dodged!
I won't stop! Rebel! Full stop!
On your guard, Kratos!
No, bro, thanks.
Fall before me!
That shouldn't have worked. I literally dodged.
Off your back.
That's it. I'm not doing this one right now. I'm gonna level up. By dodge, you mean let him sheath his sword in your abdomen? Triper, sug my balls. How about that? How about you sug my balls? Have you considered that? Sug ma!
Hey, big guy.
What, bro?
Speak.
Need you to get something for me. A hammer.
A weapon.
No. A forge hammer. Little thing.
Oh.
Symbol of the old resistance. Guild, solidarity, all that. Or it used to be anyway, till the Aesir buried it under that big, gaudy dwarf statue in the bay. Might do the dwarves some good to see it again.
You're not worried that might draw the Einherjar's attention?
The old father nearly slit my throat just to get to you.
No, we're not adding commands to stream elements anymore, Aline. If you check the mod chat, you'll see how you add commands to mix it up.
You'll
huh?
certainly be able to reach new areas in the bay with that spear.
Aye. Might be worth looking for Durlin's hammer while we're at it.
Yeah, fine, I'll
Your
do
choice,
it.
of course.
Fine. Look for his fucking shitty hammer. Where is it? Which one is it? Conscious for the Dead, the Elven Sanctum, Spirit of Rebellion. Yeah, this one, right? Fine. Wee. Sagma.
The Gallo one. What is it? Where did it come from?
It's a very
Where
live
did it
clone,
go? Where did it
and
come
I'm
from?
not
Can't
the
I
faintest
go?
idea.
Mimir.
No, truly. No one knows where the Gjallarhorn originated. Odin just gained possession of it one day.
Sounds like a colonizer, for sure. I went the wrong way.
Brother, about the oracles of your lands. Would you
What
say
are you-
they
what is
manipulated
rednecks?
events? Did they have an agenda?
I do not doubt they held their own interests first. But in my experience, they could be easily fooled by their own prophecies.
Would that be a specific experience, brother?
Once.
Oh, the
There's some
Carnage.
flaws there. If memory serves, we're heading in the right direction to find that large dwarven
Bad mob, but that was like
statue.
2 days ago.
Durlin's hammer shouldn't be far behind.
Fritz, something tells me this is what the one you're talking about, isn't it?
I need the Maxween.
Those loot puddles? Hell yeah. Leah Cruz, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Deshaun, thank you for reading me your coin. See. Hi, B. I'm glad that you like the chat. Hi, V. If you guys don't know V, please make sure to go check them out. They are so kind and sweet. Please go check them out. Very cozy. Like, actually cozy, unlike me.
Look, over there.
Yo, hi! I mean, I'll have to wait before I give you a shout out. Oh, shit. I still pressed enter. What am I, stupid? Hi! I hope you're well. Damien, love you. All the love. Wait, I didn't need to do that. Why did I do that? You don't know about the game? Oh my god. Well, so there's a lot of fighting. Because, well, it's God of War. Defo, a lot of fighting. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely not a very chill vibes, you know? What's the reason there? But it is a great game, don't get me wrong. Nice. I just don't know how to get to that other one. Nope, wrong one. Do you need to have played previous games to understand this one? No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the one from 2018 definitely would help a little bit, but I don't think it's necessary by any means. Can I do it from here or no? I can't, can I? Or why not? Nice. Fuck yeah, look at that. Honestly, I would recommend playing the game if you haven't, even if you haven't played the old ones. Genuinely. There's a recap? I didn't fucking know that. Oh, awesome sauce. Oh, fuck yeah. I just realized something. I could do this, right? And then blow him up later. Wait, why can't I just keep it there? Like all cozy. Okay, and then I dip. How? How? No, that's some bullshit for real. That should have worked. Let me get a PS5 real quick. So true. Me and Brayden got the PS5 like a year ago, I think. Done. You see that? Pro gamer. Pro gamer. That was a shit accent. My apologies. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. How do I get up there?
What manner of creature is that?
Dead.
Fair turning into a God of War puzzle. I really am. What kind of nature is that? Dead. Thanks, Kratos. You're really good with your words sometimes. How the fuck? Excuse my language. Ferris turning into a Scottish streamer. Definitely. Was that even good? I don't fucking know. I don't know how to speak Scottish, mate. How the fuck? Of course, Mia. Thank you for... Low-key, when you texted, I was like, oh, thank God, I can finally press enter. Because I forget sometimes that I have it written out. One word do trick. So true. So true. It's not funny. I've got school. It's not funny. I've got school. It's actually not funny. I've got school. Never seen a girl so serious about school in my life. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Freya, can you help a bitch out? Shrek? No, I'm not talking about Shrek. What the fuck? Ooh. Oh my God. Shrek.
Is someone there? Please.
What's up, bro?
I need help.
What do you want?
Can you put on some clothes?
To put it simply, treasure. The cache just over there, to be precise.
Oh, okay. Thanks, bro.
My son and I, we came to these isles to uncover its riches.
And then got
I
flopped?
feared it was too dangerous, so I came alone. And was, well, seemingly proven right.
But that's what you want in death? What's the purpose?
My son, I suspect he went in search of the second half of the treasure. Please find
Elder
him.
Wayfarer hitting on you. So true, you're right.
If you require a reward, you may help yourself to the treasure. It doesn't matter to me anymore.
Fair. You know what this reminds me? I was gonna say, I'm like, oh my god, this is not family friendly. What if kids play this game? And then I realized there are ratings for games. Cause like, growing up in Egypt, guys, like yes, there are ratings for games and they're written on the games, right?
It costs us
But you can still buy them. Like it doesn't matter. Like I was watching things like South Park very early into my life, which I definitely shouldn't have been, you know? Or watching Chucky when I was like 8. Definitely shouldn't have been, you know? Okay, let's get fucked in the ass again.
Kratos,
Of course it's a wolf boy. He's level 6! Bro, can you just like go in the water? I can't even reach it.
Find you! Incoming!
Don't damage me when I'm in fury mode. I'm dying. It's okay. I'll just accept it. In the buttocks.
Right side!
Is he in fury mode right now?
Changing arrow!
I didn't. I'm just trying to get my axe, dude. I don't want to do this right now. I like how he just waits for Freya to wake me up. What a kind gentleman. Freya's getting her ass beat right now. Get out, bro. Fuck! I was so close. No, I was so close. I'm redoing that. No, I was so close. That's actual bullshit. I was too close. Animal Crossing, either way, I was ripping people off for money. So true. GTA was a staple. Dude, GTA was so... You know what I was playing when I was a kid? Saints Row. Which is essentially, like, super fucked up for a child, dude. You shouldn't be playing Saints Row as a child. Like, as a character, you have, like, dildos and shit. He's getting his shit rocked right now. Frostbite.
On your left!
Steady your guard!
Freya's getting fucked in the ass right now. Get fucked. The dildo bat was normal. Was it? Watching when you played Saints Row was one of my favorite. Really? Was it actually? Aww. Beep. I cry every time.
It's beautiful from up here.
Yup. Sure is, Freya. It was hilarious. Honestly, it's a good game. I'm down to play it again. I have a dildo bat dildo. Yeah, sure. Yeah, totes. Yeah.
Looks
Yeah,
like a
totes.
room slate. Let's get your chisel out.
Guessing it's gonna be down. Yeah. Where you gamble? Okay, listen. It's a fun game to gamble. It's fun to gamble only if it's in a game. Gambling in IRL, do not fucking do that shit. I need to go pee really quickly. Wait, are you talking about the one where I gambled? I'm pretty sure that's Internet Cafe Simulator. No, Fief? Not Saints Row, right? Internet Cafe Simulator. Yeah, I love that game. That was a good game. I'm down to play it again. I was getting my phone charged. Hee hee hee. Hee hee hee. Ooh, rip to Sean. Rip-a-rooney to you. Guys, can I ask you a weird question? How did you all find my stream? Like, oh, hi, welcome in, Mr. Gatsby. Throwing any fun parties recently? I was a suggestion? Aww. Really? Like recommended channels? One day at 7 a.m.? Yeah, I'm sure I was the only one awake at that time. Who's playing God of War? Aw, well, welcome in, Mr. Gatsby. I think I rated your age to go? Oh, let's fucking go.
From behind! Incoming!
From behind, eh? Kind of suspect of the same.
Brother, Langram's found a perch on high!
I remember, but probably something early morning while I worked from home and randomly came across you. Maybe I should start streaming early again then. Okay, I can't fight this guy, dude.
Switching arrows!
Behind you, brother!
Oh, whoop. I can't avoid that.
Can't do this without
You're making the school. Oh, I cry. What in it for million? Oh my god, it actually kind of does. Oh my god, it actually kind of does. No, I know what you're talking about. The big boy, right? Or are you talking about the fatter one? Throw Lana, and then I just stayed. Why everything?
Behind you, brother!
Get fucked. Get a quick break to reset myself.
Find you! Left side!
Fuck me, asshole, bro.
Behind you! Poison!
Fuck yeah!
Last one!
There's no way I'm gonna let that fucker kill me. I'm sorry. Can't catch Stitch now, bitch. So true. Can't catch five. What was his number? 526? Was that his number? 526? Oh, the treasure. 626, right. That's close enough.
Durlin's hammer.
Still in one piece after all this time. Unlike Durlin's resistance, I suppose.
We will take this to him.
We'll have to find a way through this debris.
Raven. Raven! It's my birthday. I know it's your birthday. Callie's birthday is very soon, gamers. Thank you for the pets, Fee. I'm feeling petted and loved. Well, I'm 0830. 30th of August.
Find a mystic gateway.
Okay,
Perhaps
fuck your
we'll
Mystic
find
Gateway.
Surtur's
Where is
combat
Odin's
challenges.
shitbird? Where is the bird? I heard it.
Get that thing to shut up!
Yeah, sure, buddy. Where? Where is it?
Brother, that gun's found a perch on high!
Behind you! Look out!
Where is the thing that's talking? Where is it?
Watch your right!
Hi, Cabby. Can we get a shout out for Cav, please? Guys, where's the singing thing? I can't kill them without finding it.
That no concealing its friends, brother!
Yeah, where is it, dude? I can't find it. Which one's Nolkin?
Poison left side!
Freya?
Brother, that gun's found a perch on high!
I'm trying to follow the sound. It's not these fuckers. Where is it? Is it up there or something?
Watch your right!
I don't know where it is. I'm just thinking about dying. I'll just accept death right now and find it. Maybe I think there's a glitch or something. I can't find it. It's not there. The game has glitched a few times for me so far. Hi, cat baby. Welcome in. I love you. I love you. I love you. How long have I played the game so far? 25 hours, methinks.
Get that thing to shut up!
Brother, that group's found a perch on high.
What is this thing?
Behind you, watch out!
It's still getting healed. From what?
Behind you, brother!
Guys, can you see anything? I can't see it. Oh, now they're dying. Did I kill it? Oh, okay. Good play. He was up in that bush. I didn't see him. Fuck.
Between the creatures and all the debris, no one could have made it out of here alive.
Is it?
Alka!
Nah, give me a break, bro. What is that, dude?
Behind you! Watch out!
Electric circumcised penis?
Alka!
It's so ugly.
Behind you! Look out!
Oh. Okay. What is that? I've never seen one of those before. R.I.P. for me. I think I need to use my blades for this one. We are winning up in this bitch. I mean, we're trying, bro. Fuck, come here, you fucking ugly ass circumcised penis. Missed it.
Alka!
What? How's it harming me so much? How the fuck?
Come on, Kratos, get up!
I think he's a hugger. I think he's a bitch. Looks uncut to me. You think? Okay, so maybe not the blades. Okay.
His eyes gaze upon me, and that my allegiance is
Thank you,
recognized. I don't know. Notice me, Senpai. Notice me.
Freya, if you see this in Free on Thursday night and would like to hang out, please respond to this and then hang out with me on Thursday night when I'm free.
You stop fucking running away like a bitch! Away from me! Whack, thank you for the 100 biddies. If you see this, I'm free on Thursday night and I would like to hang out. Please respond to this and then hang out with me on Thursday night when I am free. Oh my god, I hate you. Yeah, I don't know how to target lock. How do I target lock? R3? Oh. That's nice.
Alpha!
No, that's bullshit, because I was already almost done. Like, that's actual bullshit. God damn it. I can do this. It's okay, I'm not raging yet. Should be raging after that one, though. Keep calm and slay this dong.
Grim, headed your way! Fast!
Fucker looks like IT.
Alka!
You bitch. Why are you touching me?
Alka!
Here and give me health, you fucking toad.
Alka! Grim, coming at you!
Fuck!
Brother, get up, brother.
No, that's bullshit. That's actual bullshit because he was dead. No, you don't suck. It's okay. Things are just hard. It's okay. Tell him to go home. Literally. It would be nice. You don't suck. He's just hard. Maybe I should make my Spartan Rage not Rage and just make it health.
Alka! Grim coming at you!
I just want him to die, dude. I kind of just wish I had a resurrection stone, to be honest.
Alka!
Where did he go, bro?
Grim, headed your way!
I know I'm gonna die, dude. Is there a place where I can closely go get, like, I don't know. I'm like getting angry now. I'm starting to get angry. It's over. It's almost like when he gets hit. Well, he's a fucking bitch. How about that? He's a fucking bitch.
Alka!
Fucking reptile. He needs to stop. I could do that. Faroh? At least the music slaps. Yeah, I know. We're getting something at least in this experience. Your ass beat, bitch!
Alka!
On your right!
Fuck! I'm getting really annoyed. Hi, Ninja! You should at least let me pass, right? Try to be close to that fire pit. Fuck him. I hate him. Do I have to do this right now? I have to, right? My main goal is from here. But can I go get a resurrection stone first, please? Like, I would like a resurrection stone, personally. Oh, you can do SO now. Callie, I added SO also. I'm gonna go get a fucking resurrection stone. This is bullshit. Shouldn't have fucking died the first time. Also, thank you for the shout out for Ninja. Hope you're well, Habibi.
Please find me, son.
Shut up, bro. I'll do it in a second. You're doing immaculate? I don't feel like I'm doing any form of immaculate, actually. I feel like I'm doing absolute ass. Yep. I gotta go do that right now, bro. I need a resurrection stone. It's not funny, I've got school.
Brother, can we get back to what you were saying about the oracle of your homeland? You mentioned trying to escape your bondage to Ares.
My bondage.
Yes. One priestess had visions that showed her Olympus would be brought to ruin by the god of war.
Kind of sucks. You're not wrong.
But enough of that for now.
For the day. Ooh, let's fucking go, Ninja. Well, I'm glad you have a day off then. The rest of the day off, at least. Thanks,
Did you
Cav.
make the spear?
Thanks,
Wait,
Cav.
No, Brock has to be the one to tell me what happened. I'm just gonna pretend I was never here.
It might be time to pull out the...
Want something in particular?
To pull out the GoFundMe again? At this point, this fucking ass! I'm so angry. It's not even funny. I'm trying not to lose it.
Now, was there something else?
No! Fuck you. Thanks, cow. You're welcome. Oh, that's not what I said, but okay. That's not what I said, and I love you,
Can we
but
get
no.
back to what you were saying about the oracle of your homeland. She
Whack,
had
don't
visions of
piss me off,
Olympus
Whack.
being
I'll
brought
fight
down.
you.
Yes.
I'll ban you. How about
By
that?
the god of war. Therefore, she helped me, intending to undermine Ares and protect her realm.
We'll just pick this up later.
Suddenly the production. He's young and the production quality is awful. I've never watched Bob Ross actually. Fun fact. Girl, seeing the way you fight here, I don't think I have much to worry. Fuck you.
Brother,
You're ruthless.
Perhaps we should find this man's treasure and his son
You are
before we
ruthless.
return to him. Yes?
Have you said a little boy who called my Cowla? Who called you Cowla? What the fuck? Why he called you Cowla? No, because I would beef with that child. I would start to have beef with that child. I'd be like, what the fuck do you mean by that, motherfucker? Are you trying to get beat? Like, are you trying to get busted up right now? Like, I'll fuck you up. Like, what the fuck do you mean by that? It's like that guy that came in and was like, I definitely think that was a child who was like, did Lulu alt your nose? What the fuck does that mean? Explain yourself, bro.
What's your name?
Get frozen up, you busted up fucking canine. Hey, you like that, motherfucker? I wasted so much of that, goddammit. Go bust him up. Bust him up, bitch. I'm gonna die. It's okay. I'm gonna let this one go. It's okay. I'll try again. But then I realized I couldn't. Oh, that's fine. He's 3. Oh, okay. I thought he was like 10. I hate 10-year-olds, dude. They just like, I don't know, man. It's just like they want to beef me. And for what? Like, who hurt you? Like, I'm not your dad. Come on, Freya. I'm okay. I'll die. It's okay.
Kratos, we need you.
See, I don't like 10-year-olds. I just don't like 10-year-olds. They upset me. They upset me. Okay? 8-year-olds and 10-year-olds are the worst, in my opinion. Kids are great. Teach them inside joke. I mean, that's totally valid. You can enjoy that 100%. For me, I just don't like them. And I think that's fair. Fuck them kids. They just, I don't know, man. They upset me for some reason. Do I still have the thing? Like, older kids are fine. That's fine. Younger kids are fine. But the moment they hit 10, it's about to hit them. Like, we're about to fight, legitimately. Like, I know we're about to scrap. And noisy toys. But see, that's overwhelming to me. That's what you don't understand. And a lot of people, I think, don't like the fact that I don't like kids. But it's just like, guys, it's just my choice. I don't get along with kids. I don't. Thank you for the stretch. Thank you for the hydrate. So like about someone who works in a nursery, babies a lot, kids are health, but okay. See, that's what I'm fucking saying.
Grim, headed your way! Fast!
Get your shit rocked, you fucking toad. Nope, I should have avoided that. God damn it, Farah. Yeah, I'm gonna die at this rate. Freya, revive me, please, Uwu. At least he's halfway done. I just a kid. Honestly, Callie, you have a lot more patience than I do, and I think that is very evident for you.
Coming at you!
Brother, get up! Brother!
Salamander and Monsters Inc. I get that. I get that. He does give Salamander vibes. He's pissing me off, I can't lie. I'm really sucking here. I am sucking so hard it hurts. I'm sucking so bad. Like, this is embarrassing at this point. Like, why is he so difficult? Like, my Kratos isn't weak. Like, what's the issue? Can you heal? No. Pausing does nothing but pause. Let me just save from here, though. I wish there was a way you could run away from him or something. How'd she do that? How? I'm actually getting really angry.
Grim, coming at you!
Oh my god.
Fuck! Brother, get up! Brother!
I'm actually starting to get really angry now, guys. This will be my last try, and if I fail, I'm logging off. I'm logging off. I need a break. That's it. That's it. No. No. Because what the fuck? Thanks, Callie. Whew. I'm chill. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm very chill.
Alka!
Ow, I moved. Freya, Freya, can you at least be of help for once? You fucking Nimrod. Like, I'm not in the mood for your bullshit, Freya. Genuinely. Trying to get the runic.
Come on, Kratos! Off your back!
It's just like, this is ridiculous. This game is ridiculous. Literally all these Fs, like, I'm just like angry. I literally saved prior. Like, why? Like, why is that a checkpoint? I saved there. Ah! How? I literally... That's a crime. I know I don't need to do this right now. But I really need to. For me. Right? Kelly, right. But like for some reason, like sometimes this motherfucker just like still breaks through that. It's just really annoying. Like how does he do that? Get fucked on every level you possibly could.
Find you! Incoming!
Dude, what does he do that?
Incoming right side!
Stay away from me, please.
Alka! Grim, heading your way! Back!
Okay. It's okay.
Incoming! Left side!
Come on, Freya, please.
Brother, get up! Brother!
No, look at how little was left. Did you see that little amount? Did you see that? Is that a sick joke? I literally had that. Like, is this a scam? Like, that stupid character is such a bullshit fucking fucker. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm totally chill and completely normal about this situation. Me raging could never. Me? Raging? Ha ha ha. Could never. Could never. Love you, Callie. I'm gonna try throwing it from here and then try to get one immediately after. Did that not work? Oh, it did.
Alka!
Oh, I missed it completely. Come here, buddy.
On your right! Alka!
Where did Homeboy go?
Grim coming at you! Alka!
How did that one thing fuck me up to that degree? It's okay, it's okay. Freya, with all the love in God, please.
Left side, Fredo!
badly hit. You all right, brother?
Alka!
Fuck! No, I don't know how I'm so bad at that. I don't know how I'm so bad at securing it. I don't know how I'm so bad at securing the end part. Like, that's actually crazy. I know it's possible. I just need to get some space. It's okay. I just need to get some space. It's fine. I can do it. I'm so close. I can do it. I just want someone to believe in me. It's okay. Oh, I can do it. Right, Bedla? Yeah, you're right.
Alka! Behind you, Kratos!
Yeah, I think I'm out of it right now, to be honest. I think I did it too much. Yeah, I think I did it too much. Yeah, I did it way too much right now. I need a break. Yeah, I think I need a break from this fucker. Because, like, this isn't even a requirement. Mind you, I'm just doing this for funsies. Oh my god. I think I need a break from this guy. I think, personally, for me, I think I need a break. Yeah, I think I need a break from this guy. He's giving me nothing but grief. And truly, I'm sick of him. Yeah. I feel so embarrassed. I feel like such a shit gamer. I'm sorry. I can do it, just not right now. Just not right now.
Meeting the lady of the...
Yeah, truly.
It's time to stop, okay?
Truly.
No more. Where the fuck are your parents? Who are your parents? I'm gonna call
really brought back some memories.
It's time to
I thought
stop.
it was only in
You're
my
right,
homeland
you're right.
you'd see
I'm
such
stopping,
things.
I'm stopping, mother.
Mermaids who forge weapons.
Aye. I remember very fondly a lake nymph called Nimue.
Raven.
Very talented with a sword.
Mimir.
I meant that literally.
Oh.
Shame on you. She made the
Mimir?
best swords in all the Isles and had big dreams about what she'd do with them one day. I wonder what became of her.
He goes on for a while. We love him. It's okay. He can tell me to stop all the day, any day.
How would Atreus get to Asgard?
I'm sorry, but you'd have to ask Odin. He's got control of every path. I know how highly you esteem our expertise on such things, so I'm sure that's disappointing. He's just been one
Oh,
step
now you want to
ahead of
increase
us.
defense, bitch? Please. It'd be hard out in these streets?
Anything for Freya?
Oh. that?
What do you need?
Thank you, Bedlow. But why does it keep saying
And
there's
for the
more? I'm
Valkyrie
not
Queen?
seeing anything. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. We're gonna go to Sindri's house.
Now that you have a weapon to deal with Heimdall, we just need to find a way to get to him.
Aye, if that's still the plan.
It is. I will protect my son.
So, then it
Did it
seems
ever
the
happen?
original
Wait, have you
plan
played
to
the game,
avoid
Kelly?
Ragnarok has fallen a bit by the wayside.
That is up to
Thank you,
Odin.
Kelly.
Yes, that's rather what concerns me.
Why?
Listen, brother. Those things he said to you.
His words are nothing.
True, though I expect retaliation is no empty threat. We need to think through the ins and
Oh,
outs.
Kelly, please, you're so sweet.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
It's
Let's
a
see
great
if
game. I
Sindri
think you
has
should
had any
definitely play
luck.
it if you want to. Oi, buddy, I got one of your things.
Ding works! Chime! Ding ding! You know the drill.
Buster.
Hello, friends. What shall we talk about?
Here's what I found.
This one has a strong personality. Good thing I've got experience with those.
Oh, yeah, the game series is very fun. I played the 2018 one before, and I really loved it. And it's available on PC, that one now. This one, the newer one, is still available only on
Come show
PlayStation.
off the spear. See what we done.
Okay.
Now do the thing.
Now do the thing.
Oh, look at that. She's special.
How come they're not fighting about
Ain't
realizing
gotta tell
the fact
me.
that, you know, Brock is dead?
Have you found a way to reach Asgard?
Not as
Oh,
such.
Bethel, that's so cute. I cry.
Had a few ideas, but they didn't so much
This is PlayStation.
work.
PlayStation.
Brother, without a way to Asgard, what are we doing?
I do not know.
I love playing on console, especially while streaming, because it doesn't overload my computer.
Tired.
Aw, Kratos. The Path retired?
So, you're sure nothing unusual happened with the lady? Nothing at all?
Nothing.
Jinkies.
Whatever. Smooth as
Yeah,
silk,
it is only
shit
available
like
on
a ship.
PlayStation at the current moment.
Why? There's some reason you expected it to flip sideways?
What? No, of course not. I'm delighted to hear everything proceeded as planned.
Well, they did. And it was a proper adventure to boot.
Where are you going, brother?
So it's worse on PC, Kelly?
Sleep.
So we're just keeping blindly on then, hoping we don't walk headlong into Ragnarok. Is that your plan?
Oh, Callie. I get it. Honestly, raging can sometimes make me cry at times, but I'm trying my best to remain calm and mitigate my emotions. This is a great way to practice emotional control. Is something going on? Is he being hexed or something? Why is he so sleepy? I'm getting a bad feeling. I'm getting a very bad feeling. Oh, Callie's so valid. Is he dying right now? Wood. Look at the chain, like scars on his arms. He's meditating. Poor baby. Wood. Still wears his wedding ring. Oh no, that's not the wedding ring. What am I, stupid? What a hard way to put out a candle. Oh, 100% Bedla. I love him so much. I don't think he shaves. Please tell me he's not dying, right? Not right now.
Kratos.
Faye. His deceased wife. No, Callie, I'm not even halfway in. That's Atreus, I think.
Well, your father seems very ready to go. Shall we then? This way, Grumbles.
Trigger warning, baby jump scare. My heart aches for him. What a gentleman. How do you fall in love with the God of War, actually? Like, how does that happen? Like, where do you guys meet? Like, on the battlefield? Like, oh, I like your axe.
You enjoy the gentle waves, little one? Your father and I traverse this river often. One day, you will learn to navigate its waters.
Atreus?
We live deep in the wild woods.
At this point, she knows that she won't be alive for Atreus' like growth.
It is safe and serene here. Game is plentiful, and you will want for nothing.
Oh, did they really? That's funny. Enemies to lovers.
From the place your father and I first met.
Yeah, she's dead already.
We nearly took each other's heads off. But he's softened since then. Somewhat. Unfortunately for you, he remains dreadfully stoic.
But always a protector. And always caring. Faye. For somebody who knew everything, you could have fucking shared it, bitch. Well, I'm fucking saying. At least give him a chance to grieve.
I suppose it will fall to me to teach you language.
Since he doesn't
Your father
talk?
can teach you to hunt.
Why'd she give me those eyes?
Or perhaps that will fall to me as well, Since all he seems to be good for is grunting. Have you nothing to say to your son?
Does he fucking understand? No.
What would you have me say, Faye?
Anything. Let him learn your voice. Let him know you.
Girly.
He is far better off knowing as little as possible.
He feels a lot of shame for the things he's done in the
Knowledge
past.
is not always a burden. Think. The mighty god of war. Frightened of his own child.
He's not.
I do not fear our child, Faye.
Fear's hurting it.
I fear for him.
Baby.
He is innocent.
We are not our failures. We are not who we were. We must be better.
My heart aches, man.
Atreus is our future.
Trey.
Keep him safe, Kratos.
It's like she's giving him a message from the beyond.
Protect our son.
I feel so bad for him. Holy fuck. A nightmare. But also a message. Kratos? Aren't you in Sindri's home? What's the problem? Why is he trying to break the wall? He's in Sindri's house, no? Or is he training? Oh. Trey? Trey! Oh, they both do the same practice.
Building focus. Something my father taught me.
It work?
Not yet.
So, what you focusing on anyway?
Controlling my emotions. Heimdall keeps trying to make me lose my cool. I can't give into it.
Yeah, okay.
Thrud, hey, it's Thrud. Hey, be cool.
What's up, Thrud?
Training without me?
That a good idea? Training? I mean, I think it's a great idea, but won't your mom be mad if she finds out?
Bro.
Good point.
Her mom is so sexy.
No, it didn't hurt. Also.
Anyways,
He's punching a
Grandfather
stone wall
wants to
for
see you.
focus.
Oh, grandfather. Right. Okay. Here, then take this, and send my regards to Sif, Lady Sif, and Atreus. See you later, Thrud. Bye, Thrud.
Is he a human?
Midgardian boys are so weird.
But no, he's just not a god.
Can be good.
The two of you, I swear.
Oh, he's human? No, he's not, Parker.
What's in the jar?
Milk curd. Mom's favorite.
Ew.
It's his way of helping. Grandfather's in his study. Catch up later?
Okay. Asgard is basically Earth. Oh, really? So Homeboy's just a human. Does he not know that Atreus is a god? Homie was mad casual with the tray. Do I have to look for Odin? Because fuck that guy, dude.
Whoa, I can use this.
I hate him.
Nicely equipped. What needs work?
Berserker's Resurrection Stone. With full rage. Oh, wow. God damn. That's fucking sick. Hello? Oh, he barely has any skills. God damn it. Trey, we need to build up your XPP. Wee, what's all this?
Sif and Thor's room. Everyone back home would freak if they knew I was in here.
There's an ugly ass room.
What am I doing in here?
Sniffing.
You don't understand. It's a lot more complicated than you think. You don't need to know why. But I'm old enough. This isn't about your age. Then what is it about? Because by this point, Magni and Modi were set on the path that led to their death. I don't understand. You never tried to. Then help me. Why are you so intent to walk the same path? And with that boy no less. It's not about him. This is my dream.
What's her dream? To die?
Some farmhands. We're atheists. We have duties, not dreams. And you need to start acting like it. Sometimes I hate you.
Well, at least she feels very human to me personally.
Huh. Out of here. Maybe Odin's down in
Oh,
this
she wants to be a Valkyrie. That's fair. I already looted his entire area, no? Check the library. Baby can't even open the door.
I just don't get it. The mask. Bringing the giant that killed my sons here. Why?
I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Stop letting your wife think for you. She's clouding whatever's left of your brain.
This isn't about
That's rude.
her.
No, it's about your limitations. Accept them and move on. Now go smash something, will you? Honestly, I liked you better as a drunk.
Odin, don't be fucking rude, dude.
Loki, come here.
My name is Trey!
I finally figured it out.
How to have a fat ass?
This is where you killed Ymir. Isn't it? The first giant.
Tell me.
Yeah, I feel bad
Can
for
you
Thor,
murder a
too.
landslide?
But also fuck him for
Smother a
like
storm.
completely like killing all giants.
He was more, a force of nature, a vessel of power. I was young, foolish. Saw an opportunity to create something more. I know you think it's cruel, but I did what I had to protect my own.
All right, buddy. No, you did what you had to do to gain power. That's
If I
different.
build your house here, what's in there? If I'm gonna trust you.
I'm trying to tell you.
You haven't said shit, actually.
In the wake of Emir's death, I saw something. The rift. Possibly the birthplace of reality. I looked inside, and something was there looking back at me. It whispered to me. Things I couldn't
being a
possibly
dick.
comprehend, but I knew they were true.
That's what I said.
When it blinded me, I thought it was over, that I'd never see inside again. And then I found this.
Uh-huh.
And I knew that
Hi,
it
Philly. Welcome in.
would finally let me see the answers. You see, son, I don't know where I go when I go.
You're progressing a lot, right?
There's no Valhalla for me. Ragnarok cannot be the end. I need to know there's something more than this. I need to know what happens to me. And that's the truth, I swear, on my last good eye. That's the truth.
Fair. I hate him so much.
The writing on here talks about a cold breath.
Trey is too trusting, like genuinely.
It's gotta be Helheim.
Helheim, you say? I'll take it. And I know just the person to accompany you.
Parker, please. Do not like this fucking genocidal asshole. The only reason he's an all-father is because he fucks everything in sight. Asshole.
I'm trusting you two can handle this responsibility.
You can count on us.
Don't mess this up for me.
Oh, forgot to mention. Heimdall will be joining you.
Oh, no.
What a privilege.
Don't touch
For
me,
all of
dickhead.
us.
He's gonna try and kill Trey.
Oh, whoa. Hold up. You don't want to walk into the blistering cold of Helheim without this. Every Lao should keep you nice and toasty. You're welcome.
Huh. Mimir said even Odin couldn't survive the cold in Helheim.
You believe everything that old goat says?
Thrud, too bad your first time outside Asgard has to be to Helheim.
Nah, we're gonna make the most of this.
I don't feel safe
Now,
in this
as much as I
scenario.
would love to babysit, I have something else to do for the Allfather. If you run into any trouble, just scream so I know where to find your bodies.
Oh, what a fucking dickhead.
He's such an asshole.
Facts!
Let's find that mask piece.
Literally, Heimdall's such a fucking bitch. Like, all my homies hate that fucking asshole. Like, he's such a... I hate him. I hate him. I literally hate him. However, we will be ending stream here. What a segue. What a segue. What a segue. I just got here. Philly, I'm sorry. Wallahi, I'm sorry. But I do have to eat and I do have to go record for Free-Rin. My apologies for my sins in this current moment. My apologies. Why are you sorry? The fuck? Please. My apologies, gamers. But we are going to be back once again Tuesday morning. You know, we're keeping it up, doing 3 streams a week. I'm happy that I'm there when I say I will be here. I like it. So I don't get to see the show. No. What show are you talking? Wait, what do you mean? Like me playing games? Me playing little gamey games? Is that what you mean? Okay, guys, here are my raid commands. Oh, your office is in the... Oh, okay, got you. Philly, don't worry. I'm going to consistently be playing it. I will not stop. This is my shit. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I will be there. And I will be playing it Tuesday morning also. Don't you worry, okay? I pinky promise. We're going to go raid B, who I finally spelled their name right. Okay? Last time we accidentally raided the wrong B. Grand, hi!
Anita Maxwell.
What the heck? Hi, Grand. Oh my god, hi! Everybody who doesn't know Grand is a huge community member in Sheila's stream. We love Sheila also. Thank you for the friendship. Thank you for hanging out with me, you guys. I hope you guys had an amazing day. I had so much fun with you guys. I hope you had fun with me too. I will see you guys Tuesday morning. And pie eating contest will come in also. Hi, Grand. I will be back. Thank you, Cav, for pinning that. Wrong one, Cav. You have to add an S. You have to add an S, baby, at the end of B. That's what I did last time by accident. But yeah, we're going to end stream and I'll be back Tuesday morning. And I'll have the schedule up on Sunday. So make sure to go check out Discord if you haven't already to see my schedule. I love you guys. And I will see you guys Tuesday morning. Bye-bye. Hi, Lenny. Bye, Lenny.